Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
This is PENDREAM TV, your only source of authentic news and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777, showing on your screen as well. I would like you to join me listening to what we have for you today, where Black Rasta is lashing out his anger on the medical doctors and the cost of dialysis, and how some of us are waiting to receive money from politicians before voting come 2024 election, which is just some months ago. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what PENDREAM TV have for you again this time. Stay tuned.
The country has failed us. 2 months ago, a young man came here. He wanted to speak with Captain Smart. Whilst he was waiting to speak with Captain Smart, I came passing by. A young woman approached me and asked me to excuse her to speak to me for a few minutes. I said, okay, even though I was in a rush, which I always do. I'm never too much in a rush to speak to people. We put people first. My brother, the young lady pointed at the man sitting there and said, this is my husband. We are here to see Captain Smart so that he would help us at least meet some wealthy people to help with the dialysis of my husband. That is my husband. The man looked very feeble and pale. Today, I'm sad to say that as I came into the studio, the lady sent me an obituary. The man is gone. He's gone. I am looking at the obituary right now, and it breaks my heart. Was there anything we could have done to save this man? Has the nation failed the man? How many more tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people in this country would go through the same route? They say there's health insurance, yet there are some health bits that the insurance cannot insure. Interesting. My brother, many people have spoken about this dialysis thing. It looks like our nation keeps failing us every now and then. Imagine this was China. They would have free dialysis. England, free dialysis. South Africa, free dialysis. America, free dialysis. You would have free medical care. That is a civilized nation. In our country, civility is a thing of the past. When politicians come in to campaign in order for us to vote them into power, we seem to momentarily forget some of these very important things. All we are looking for is money for our pockets right now to buy kenkey and fish, as if we will not eat again tomorrow. It hurts me. Everybody is looking for a bribe. Oh, the politicians are coming again. They must pay us before we vote for them. After they have paid you, what is next? They come in and they have to recoup everything they spent in rising to the highest office of the land. All the bribe money they paid you, they will skin all of you alive, milk you beyond milking. They will make you bleed back the bribe money. You don't care, my brother? My sister, you don't care? This young woman today sent me the obituary. Water started running down my face. I broke down. The young man died. She's lost her husband. Her children have lost a father. The nation has lost one more person. My brother, when I look at some of these things, I feel so hurt and so bad. I remember the story of Daddy Lumba. And he himself told me this in KW Studios. He told me, Black Rasta, when my mother was sick, I had to go to the hospital every day and pay huge amounts of money in order to give her a certain injection that will keep her alive for the next few hours. The doctors had told me that there was no cure for the condition she had. I'm not going to mention what condition it was. Daddy Lumba told me that he would go to the hospital every time and they would inject the woman, she would spring back to life, and then they would be speaking. He did it for so long until one day the woman held Daddy Lumba's hand and said, Kojo, enti ube koswa sa de we ya Dr. Force minti apodano. De bia beba betweska. No ma wo me panie. Panie no mo wo me wi a. Na ma kasa 2 hours, 3 hours. Na ma sa ko back. Ube tu ma koswa sa. Sa usika nyina besa. Ma and then your last one. Omo wo me panie na ye bon komo wi a. Membe wo me panie biom. No bono edin. Faska no hwe wo ma no. Me nana no. When Daddy Lumba told me this, tears ran down my face. What was the condition the woman had? Daddy Lumba said right after the last injection, he spoke with the mother and they embraced. The idea was that the mother did not want him to spend all his life savings on a disease that was incurable. Daddy Lumba said as he was walking out of the hospital, he looked around, looking through the windows to see his mother's last days. The moment the mother was slumping back, after the power of the injection was gone, he ran back and paid again for the mother to be injected. He embraced her again and said, Mommy, minti mi share sa my own wusa. Sky dien said, oh, kojo men yes sir. Me na nom no, omu yes kano. Fa hwe omu wate. Me dia ma bomb bra kra wi. Hey! Daddy Lumba said after the injection, the doctors took him outside, far away, put him into the car and asked him to go home and that they would do well to keep the woman. A few hours later, they called him that the woman was gone. My brother, it is sad how our insurance in these hospitals, the health insurance, continues to fail us. Doctors are making mistakes left, right, and center, taking lives of people. And it looks like in this country, there is no accountability. How many doctors have we sued in this country for foolishness and carelessness? This is not to say that our doctors are not doing well. Far from that. But there are some doctors who are professionally inept, professionally dead. My mother was sick whilst I was in America teaching in some of the universities. My brother, my sister, she went to the hospital. They started giving her some glucose solution. And when she started to react, it was then the doctor asked, oh, was she diabetic? Is she diabetic? Has she ever been diabetic? You didn't care to ask all these things before giving her sugar? The woman died at the Tamale Modern Hospital. Carelessness by doctors. Some doctors never ever account. The other day in Takrady, there was a woman that was sent to the hospital. There were some people who had been involved in accidents, and the doctor had so much work on him. He quickly declared the woman that had come in as dead, without any checks, nothing, no test. They took the woman to the morgue. The mortuary man put the woman down, ready to prepare her, strip her naked, and push her into the refrigerators. But first, he had to go out and drink apeteshi. As he was coming back, he was singing those apeteshi songs. The woman sat up and was shocked seeing dead bodies all over her. She asked, hey, hey, when did me ba? You know what the mortuary man did? He went looking for a hammer to come and knock the head of this woman, that the woman was a ghost. She had been declared dead by a competent doctor. It took a nurse to say, hey, nyabotre, man, chadeng. When they looked at the woman, not knowing at the time, she was just in a coma. The doctor carelessly pushed her in there. And when I was investigating this, the doctors told me that what the woman experienced was what was known as the Lazarus effect. In medicine, they call it the Lazarus effect. When somebody is declared dead, the heartbeat has stopped. But it is possible for the person to come back to life when one or two things come into play. So it is not a new thing. The woman enjoyed what is known as the Lazarus effect. Are our mortuary men trained to know that there is something called Lazarus effect? No, they are ready with their hammers. When somebody comes back to life immediately, pa, pa, before, pa, pa, yakun, ko. How many innocent Lazarus affected people, my brother, my sister, have been knocked back to permanent death? When I went to Guyana a few years back, the doctor who was supposed to test me and send me into the jungles to go and perform, my brother, the jungles of Aurora, asked me if I had had malaria before. I was shocked at this question. Because coming from West Africa, malaria is our middle name. I said, I've had malaria. She asked, oh, okay, how many times? I said, about 1 million times. She said, I'm not joking. I said, how many times? I said, about 1 million times, and I am not joking either. The female doctor jumped. Her heart leaped into her mouth. She started running diarrhea and shaking as if she had popo bli. This man here says he has had malaria about 1 million times. My brother, my sister, in Guyana and some other places, it's not easy to have malaria. Then she shocked me with a question. What kind of malaria have you been having? I said, in my country, malaria is malaria. I don't know if there is anything called something malaria, maybe 1 malaria, 2 malaria, or A malaria and B malaria. What I know is that malaria is malaria. And if you're in the Ashanti region, they might say Madedia. Wanya Madedia. This woman looked at me and said, really? Now she started to educate me. Depending on what kind of mosquito bites you, you would have this kind of malaria or that kind of malaria. In my country, malaria is malaria. Can you ask your doctor what kind of malaria you have? Our doctors do not even tell us what sickness we have. They just prescribe and tell us to go and swallow medicines. If you dare ask your doctor, what does this medicine do? He will look at you and say, we are doctor, we are in a mama a year prescription. Who be some say don't know bedding. A bema wa fit now we go. Ha! So unprofessional behavior. So when I see some of these people dying like this, it hurts me, my brother. How many more of our children will be diagnosed wrongly? The other day, a woman so close to me, I don't want to disclose the relationship. My brother, my sister. She went to the hospital and they told her she had ulcer. Omudi ulcer, sir. The woman died. And when the woman died, she was finally diagnosed with what? Appendicitis. So all this while that we were treating ulcer, appendicitis. Of course, I understand that mistakes do happen. But when some of these mistakes happen, we have to investigate them and see whether they were intentional or not. To all the innocent people who are dying from these dialysis price hikes, I know that today, many more people would go into their graves Tomorrow, many more would go in there. It is time to unite as a people, rather than dividing ourselves on political lines. Whether you are an NDC man or woman, NPP man or woman, it doesn't matter. The diagnosis is one. You have to go for dialysis. It's the same equipment. We don't have NDC equipment for dialysis. We don't have NPP equipment for dialysis. It's the same equipment and the same cost. And when you die, there's nothing like an NPP grave or an NDC grave. We go to the same grave.
Thank you for staying tuned. Please, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell, turn it to all so that you'll be the first to get any notification, fresh notification from the channel. Do like and also share to all your platform and friends to know what is going on. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.